Tom Fischer.
Thank you for coming. That's Mike. Just thinking about this what I want to tell about Nik. He
Most moving poem that he created, and I tell you, we were all sitting at the back of the church going, no, 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 don't make me cry yet. Anyway, please welcome to the stage Valentino Assenza.
The beat goes on. Welcome, everybody. I think of Nik every day because I pass his building every day. His neighborhood. I live in his neighborhood, and I just think of little funny moments all the time with Nik. I always loved making him laugh. Didn't happen often. He smiled, but I loved making him break out laughing. I remember one of the last gigs we did. Jennifer was at it. It was at an art closing, and he was wearing this kind of debonair shirt, and he had kind of like little goatee. And I said to him, man, I love the hair, I love the shirt. You got kind of a Douglas Fairbanks thing going on. So are you gonna swing from a chandelier or what? And he just broke out laughing there. I remember asking him, I could always ask him absurd questions and he'd actually answer them quite seriously. Like I said, if you ever got into a fist fight with Hall and Oates, who would you rather take on, Hall or Oates? And Nik said, definitely Daryl Hall. He's an Irishman, he'd give me more of a fight. So, I miss Nik so much. It's a night like this that you'd expect him to be around. And the night that he passed, he didn't let me get to sleep. He didn't let me get to sleep because he wanted me to write a poem. So I stayed up, as he did in his way. He was a night owl. And I came up with a poem called Skywriting. How do you write a tribute in the sky when there are only so many characters? I had an image of a gray, windy day and a lone gentleman wearing a leather vest, his hands in his pockets, his many crosses around his neck catching the wind. He was on Queen Street East by the stone wall taking one last look. How do you write an ode in the midst of stars? Be creative. Make your way around the dark. And this is how you stand on your own, encased in an eternal glimmer with the most magnificent pen. And this is how you give the finger, never making any apologies for the trail of fire and pixie dust you left behind. We all sniffed it out and tried to follow with our own inventive steps. And this is how you howl, in your playground of night, brewing the storm with fangs, black eyeliner, opening the gothic calamity with the chain link of lexicon that was reinforced over and over again. And this is how you love, in a parked car by a graveyard with fogged windows under the intense midday sun of lust and long hair and clasped hands and the sweet sinking of a mattress. And this is how you meet God, with an attitude, telling him that the ego has landed, ready to show him your Irish boxing moves, and him asking you if you've changed your mind. And this is my tribute in the sky. And this is how I picture you on an early afternoon in cartoon Rome, sitting at a table, sipping a Diet Coke. The Trevi fountain has a psychedelic sprinkle. You observe a young man and young woman making out against the stone wall. They're studying the romantic sciences. And this is how I close my eyes and see you forever etched and embossed. And this is how you nudge me forward. And this is how I pass it on. And this is how I whisper my cries. And this is how I write goodbye in the sky. Thank you.
It was electrifying again. Early got a chance to see what was going on up here. So, first off, did Joni Page make it here? She's probably stuck on the floor.
She's on the gardener coming up from London.
Oh my God. Okay, we're all staying until she gets here, okay?
She's on the gardener, she's applying, she's on her gardener.
Fabulous.
Hey there, thank you for coming. That's Mike. Just thinking about, we'll sort of want to tell about Nick. He, something triggered when Glenda said S&M. Nick had this whip in his hallway. I don't know if anybody ever saw the whip in his hallway? Apparently my sister has it, so now I'm kind of worried about my brother-in-law and what she's going to do to him. But I thought it was kind of appropriate that Mimi took the whip, because Mimi's kind of a rebel. She always seems to get the odd item. And the thing about the whip is I had always wondered, it was always hanging in the same place right by the wash, and I always wondered if he actually took it off the nail there and actually used it, because I thought, Jesus, my best friend, but is he really that much of a kinky bastard? You know? Yeah, just for Hank? Oh, okay. I'm going to read a poem about Nick I wrote after his death. It's, I don't know if anybody here, obviously his family knows his real name's Michael. It's named after the Archangel Michael. So this poem's called Portrait of One Who Passed On, Archangel Michael, Nick. Ineffable. Curious. Non-judgmental. Comforting. Musical. Poetic. Philosophic. Friend. Brother. Father. Godfather. Generous. Listener. 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 Listening. Lovely. Available. So that's my poem about Nick. And I'm just going to read one short one. Nick wrote his book, The Tyranny of Love. That's his book that came out through Seraphim Editions with Maureen White. There may be more copies getting printed out of that book. It's called Drinking Stars. Thirsty for night, I ventured forth without coat or wraps or hat or maps. I stayed and I spied the stars and drank them greedily one by one. Their milky whites poured down my gullet to the Gulliver that was me, until the night was no longer filled with their cruel taste, arrogant, foamy breath, sparkling or mythic forms of fate. In blackness wore me best, and I was full of stars, and in turn became
by the indomitable Pat Kelly and the stunningly sexy bass player Michael Ratt. So, gentlemen, the stage is yours. Oh, and Valentino. My God, you're doing like triple duty. Oh my God. Okay, we're all staying until she gets here, okay?
She's on the gardener, she's applying, she's on her gardener.
Fabulous. If worst comes to worst, hot chocolate and cereal is on me. So, anyway, we'll slaughter it later. But anyway, going back to our wonderful group, I'd like to welcome Michael Oesch to the stage, and he's bringing some friends with him. Is it Valentino? You're coming back up?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah? Thank you.
It was my pleasure to produce Nick's final CD, Famous for Falling. I got copies of it yesterday. It's a lovely CD. Nick and I spent the better part of 8 months in the studio every Wednesday and Thursday. He would come by and we do a few hours in the afternoon because, you know, Nick didn't wake up in the morning. And we work on the CD. And December 6th at the Amsterdam Bicycle Club, we are going to be having a CD release party where you can buy this CD and the chapbook that goes with it, famous for following the chapbook. It's $25 to get in, and to get the chapbook and the CD, I figure that's a great price. If you're not going to be able to make the CD release party, I do have copies of the CD today for sale for $20. So if anyone wants to come up after and see me and cannot make the CD release party, I do have some copies for sale. But I know most of you want to get the chapbook as well and be part of a great event. So there's that. One of the things that I did do is, putting together a CD release party without the artist is one of the toughest things I've ever had to do in my life. So for part of it, I've got 38 artists coming on December 6th to perform that. It's like herding cats, getting them all together. And it's an amazing, amazing thing. I'm just trying to find, there it is. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go.
Got
notoriety.
Too much drunk driving, too much anxiety.
Guess it was better to drink and drive.
Take the foolish motherfucking high dive.
Booze was crypto for Actor Boy.
It was a little bit of this and a little bit of joy.
Simon says glorious
to be dead.
Take the subway instead.
Open up your eyes.
Don't ask why. No use.
Substance abuse.
The killer weed.
Mishmash ash.
Dudes on the dash. Lonesome on the loose.
Sound of a gonna goose.
Sounds of screaming fire. Someone's car on fire.
So take the subway. Open up your eyes.
Don't ask why. No more fast goodbyes. Someday, my footloose friend, we may meet again. That's taken right from the album. It's hard to replace Nik on that. And the other artist on that song was Wakefield Brewster. And earlier this year, I was shooting a documentary out west. And Nik always wanted to do a poem with him in Wakefield. So I drove to Calgary and recorded the sound of Wakefield Brewster recording on that, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to invite my wife Saskia up here. We're going to do a poem that she wrote for Nik. And here, come on, you're going to be on this one over here. Nik loved recording with me because I have lots of really weird instruments, and it was always fun. He's like, "What are we going to play with today?" So one of the things we did put on the album is this lovely Sansula, which is a thumb piano. And hold on a second, let me just get this down here. Yeah, it is hot up here.
It's help you have a broken thermostat too. So I wrote this a few days after the funeral. It's called Missing You. I stand by the window on this morning, trying to appreciate the pinks, purples, and mauves of another sunrise, and think of you. I struggle to understand the silence, this inexpressible want. In an ordinary day, you will be that extraordinary emptiness. I walk slowly along the boardwalk. I feel the cool morning fog on my skin. Pause at Ludi Lifeguard Station and witness waves lap gently onto shore. while my thoughts turn back to you. This stillness in the periphery of my eye is where you are, and the pain indelibly etched in my heart is your absence. I sip my afternoon coffee, sitting quietly on the hardwood bench under the old oaks in Kew Gardens. Dappled sunshade, hear children laughing at the playground, swinging from the ropes, so carefree, giggling at each other. And I realize how much I miss you. I grieve for the breaking of hope, the loss of friendship, and a quiet too profound to comprehend. I behold the sun sink past the Toronto skyline, tattooed onto twilight. The promise of another day, divulged in the thin sliver of moon, settling down the horizon. I finally recognize you are not here. And I know I will always miss you.
How's everybody doing? You all look like you were just ready to fall asleep right there. Don't be doing that. Anyways, and actually,
So, gentlemen, the stage is yours. Oh, and Valentino. My God, you're doing like...
don't be doing that. Anyways, and actually, exactly. If you see me walking around with this awesome jacket, it's because it's Nick's jacket, and this is Nick's scarf, and these are my chest hairs, but they're basically they're going on in honor of Nick, who had never ever had 3 top buttons ever in his whole fucking life. I swear to God, as a child, he said, no, that was it. Yeah. Start singing right.
Death's her king. Ending's her thing. 13 fetal size. Before 33. Unseen Marilyn behind the screen. A big blonde ad behind Kennedy's new frontiers. Looming gigantically over his family, with vague cunt stare, bombshells beware. A desert flavor of the mouth, the dark angel food cake, the late Monroe singing happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to
working on these songs of Nick's, there's a lot of sadness, profound level of sadness. And I was just saying earlier how it's hard to commit this stuff to memory because it's kind of painful. But then I realized this was the Nik from before, because the Nik that I knew by the time the album was released, this stuff, it's like it was done, put it behind him. And he was the happiest I'd ever known him. And I'm happy to say that one day, I think I've said this before, that we're driving in his car and suddenly it's like one of those laughs that comes out of a joke that's not said out loud. And we just started laughing. You know, one of those, just the joy of being alive, you know. Just, anyways.
And that's why kids don't eat broccoli.
That's right.
Exactly.
Jesus, John Paul, George, and me. The sun that never comes, waiting for the sun, never ever comes. Or maybe it's the room, maybe it's the gloom, maybe it's the sky. I don't know reasons why. Sit here all day, just wondering what I got. I don't know what it is, just me and my machines, sitting here today, making all my dreams, making all our ways, making all my tears, making all my love, making me today what I really am. Or maybe it's the room, or maybe it's the blue. I don't know what to say, except I want to linger on. I don't know what to say, really just say, I really all know. Tendons, my arms and my knees, molding my visions, my reveries, my dreams, making my music, my food and my drinks, making my toast and my tea, making my sensual fantasies. My machines wake me up, my machines take me to work, my machines make me up for the company that never comes.
hard to follow that. I was going to read 2 of Nick's poems, but Tom Fischer beat me to Drinking Stars. I was going to finish with that, so I'm going to just do 2 pieces.
I want an angel without wings, one who will not fly away. When I am mad or I am lost, one who will stay in mournful song. Well, I want an angel, yeah, of the real. I want an angel dressed in gold, one not too old to one who will love me when I'm sad, one who will stay when I am mad. Well, I want an angel, of the real. Can you sing along, Mom?
Well, it wasn't quite Kazakhstan or whatever the heck. But close, I'll go with that.
Two of Nick's poems, but Tom Fischer beat me to Drinking Stars. I was going to finish with that. So I'm going to just do two pieces. The first one is a piece I wrote for Nick after he passed away, and the second one is one of Nick's from Tyranny of Love. This is the piece I wrote after he passed away. It's called Song. Yesterday I did not hold you, though I had thought to. Today I woke to you standing by the foot of my bed, your song unfurling on my tongue, the exquisite words that used to cut the night in pieces, falling flat in the absence of you. So I slipped my arms through the sleeves of the thrift store jacket you wore to all the parties. A long-tressed girl on one arm, or both, and a Diet Coke. And once upon a time ago, it was me you picked up in your car, rose petals crushed into the floor and Coke cans scattered everywhere. And once we stayed up all night, writing alongside the lapping of the waves. I look for you in shoeboxes full of photographs and around every corner, but I can't find you. So I look to the night, the sky between us wretched and black. And I miss the smell of you. You didn't like to leave your shoes by the door, bearing the holes in your socks. And I never finished the paintings I started of you. You so often asked, when will you? The nights you sat and I painted, you talked about this girl or that one, and I leaned into the dark, trying to find your face. I still have a can of Diet Coke that I am keeping for the next time you stop by. And I'm just going to do one of Nick's called "And Lest You Forget You Are Eternal." It's from Tyranny of Love. Unless you forget you are eternal, and God did not fashion you to be a soldier, but a soul, and every blank page you are about to write on is but a doorway white to heavens bursting, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel. For you are the light, the end and the beginning, and the vagaries of age leave you pale as a ghost, losing touch, taste, sight, and smell, and for this world, and so tuning into the next. And night after night, you commence the endless rehearsal for your own endgame, played out 1,000 times to the point of parody, to the point of farce, to the point where there is no point. And what are the blankets you wear but a winding sheet, a burial shroud, as you lie horizontal, eyes closed, lights out, darkness fetches a mirror, and you make your nocturnal inventions in sleepy silence of puffs of time, a dreamy alliance of heaven and hell. And lest you forget you are eternal, so good night and get a good sleep. Thank you, Nick.
Checkpoint. Well, it wasn't quite Kazakhstan or whatever the heck. But close, I'll go with that. I was already going to take the bus at 2:30. And I was like, oh, I'll just chill and relax and take the bus at 4. Oh my god, the snowstorm. Nick really, you know something, I just find it hard to say the words. I'm going to play a song that Nick always asks me to play, and I appreciate it very, very dearly. I met him with Anita many, many moons ago, and over the years it's just been beautiful to share the poetry and the art and music and moods and ideas and all the great people that I met. Anyway, here's a song for you called The Cigarette Song. In the chorus it goes, we will remember you, your eyes they sparkle like the morning sun, we will remember you, the light you give still keeps shining. Look at
I remember you told me all
I'm going to sing through my chest like Nick does. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Screw me, man. Actually, you know what? No, he's a hoot. I'm going to find those problems for sure. Anyways, this is Nick's jacket. This is Nick's scarf. And of course, Nick never had any shirts that went this high, so this is why I'm wearing this. And actually, I like it. I'm going to grab a guitar.
You have a nice chest hat. Thank you, Valentino.
We'll talk later, baby. When Glenda asked me to do this, I believe it was an email that said, be there at 6. And my reply was, okay. Normally I do all kinds of stuff, but I'm just going to do Nick's stuff tonight. The way we used to argue all the time about how to do production and stuff. And I remember when we were doing a video for The Look, and he came up to me and said, I want to have all these girls, you know, in all kinds of different costumes and be themselves. And the cool thing is, the whole thing with that song, The Look, was that it wasn't about being pretty, it was about being beautiful. There's a big difference. And if anybody knows me, I strongly believe that a perfect 10 can be 300 pounds. It's all about personality and confidence. So Glenda, go across the street, have that lube, baby. We got your rim shots to do. And know what? And if you believe that it tastes like a strawberry, by the time you find out, it'll be too late. Oh my God.
You're making me very uncomfortable.
Look away, baby, look away.
In a good way.
You know what? You know what's neat? I'm wearing Nick's jacket, I've got Nick's scarf on, we're doing this for Nick, and we're doing this for Hank, and I can't get my guitar to tune. This is perfect. It's absolutely right. Yeah. And I picked this song because oh yeah, we're at it too, which is perfect. I picked this song because Nick wrote this for someone very special to all of us, Linda. And not many people knew that, but and I remember going over to the house and Linda was in the bedroom and just laying there, and we knew that it was coming. And the great thing about Linda and Nick and everybody that we know, they've got this great sense of humor, and she knew she had a couple of hours or whatever, and I walked in the room and she said, what the fuck are you doing here? Hello. It's out of tune, deal with it. I need someone to hold me all through the night. Someone who will stay with me until the morning light. Someone who will dream with me all through the night. Someone who will love me until the morning light. Good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. Good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. I need someone to stay with me all through the night. Someone to stay awake with me until the moonlight. Well, I want you, girl, I need you, girl, all through the night. I want want you now to hold me, girl. All through the night I said good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. 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 Need someone to hold me all through the night. Someone to stay awake with me until the morning light. Well, I want you, girl, and I need you, girl, all through the night. And I want you now to hold me, girl, through the night. I say, good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. 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 Need someone to hold me all through the night. Someone who will stay with me until the morning light. Someone who will dream with me all through the night. Someone who will love me until the morning light. Michael and Joni, and Ratt was on bass, and Nik was at the Free Times Cafe 2011. That was a couple of days ago. Anyways, I'm going to do something I rarely do, which is different from this too. Thanks, Mike. We've been doing some stuff in the studio because and the cool thing is that Nik didn't leave. Actually, Nik sort of took a position of, you know what, I'm sort of maybe bogging people down, so I'm going to do something drastic to kick all your asses. Because ever since that wonderful day, because I call it a wonderful day because it woke us all up, Laura's got her single out. Mary, Jeff. Mary, where you go? Where you go? Don't worry. Jennifer gets on the goddamn stage. And then, like, everybody's been doing everything. Michael's been wearing stranger hats. And I'm wearing a funky jacket. And the cool thing is that I like it. Anyways, so the whole idea was, I said, you know what? Tracy Jones actually did a remix, or his version of one of Nik's songs. What was it? God Only Knows. And so I decided, you know what? I've always wanted to do this song. I love this song, and I talk about the look and what we did in the video. And it was a hell of a day. Only Nik could show up with 32 women half naked. And the thing is, they showed up half naked, then they got naked to get changed into their stuff, and of course I had help. I did hair and makeup and waxing for Nik. Anyways, and we had fun doing it, so I had fun doing this. I phoned my mic, so like the blue tabby, I phoned my mic. Guess what, Mike? What? We're gonna record a song. When? Now? Great, wonderful. Okay, go. And so,
I got tea. I'm coming over.
Yeah. It's in the key of I don't know. Anyways, here we go. Awesome. Al, make it loud, please, and everybody. Here you go.
wants. You got everyone on your mind. Now if you got, there's no one to mind. You got the look every time. You got the look in your eyes. You got the look. You got the charm in your eyes. You got anyone you despise. You got a world in your thighs. You got a body nobody minds. You got the power to decide. You got the lovers all in the line. You got the look everybody wants now, baby. Look, you got a flaw. You got the look. You say yourself, gonna put love on the shelf. You got a look everybody wants. You got a body you'll always flaunt. You got the style in your eyes. You got the world in your thighs. You got the body that everybody wants. Now baby it's your turn to make it flaunt. Nick and I actually wrote a song together, which was very rare because both of us were 80 fucking D. Completely. Yeah, there's ADD and then there's 80 Nik D. Where you going? Look, there he goes. Okay. You know, he's the only one I know that showed to do a rock video and have 14 different engagements during the rock video. You know, while he's on the phone. Hey, okay, shoot, go. Hey, run back, okay. Anyways. Anyways, we're gonna try this. And if it doesn't work.
Get started, come on.
This is Nick's guitar now. Screw it. Alright, anyways, we wrote this song. We were walking down Queen Street. Not the Queen Street, not the cool Queen Street, but the actual rich people Queen Street, which is actually the Eaton Center. And we were looking at all the Christmas displays, and we were going, what a bunch of bullshit. Right? And look at the picture windows. They're all dressed up with all this crap. No goodbye. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and went, okay. And then we went up to McDonald's and ordered nothing. Because, of course, that's what we did.
And we sat there, and he just sort of started going, picture your window, tell me a story, and then there's a TV screen there, by a TV screen almost 6 feet tall. And I went, picture your window, you're in your glory. Those around you have vanished, and you've consumed us all. And we kept going. So it was line, 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 line. We played this game a lot. Line, 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 line. And so this is it. And the weird thing is that even the damage that was playing in the McDonald's. And so he said, like, it's typical Nick, I like those chords. So he took off. Picture window, telling the story by a TV screen, almost 6 feet tall. Picture window, you're in your glory, those around you have vanished, while you consumed us all. You hold items of Saturn, you show items of gold, you sell dolls that speak Latin and creams that make you young when you're old. Picture window, you lie to me. Picture window, no money down, everything is free. In the window, you lie to me. No money down, everything is free. In the window of the picture window. Now, of course, we have to do Beatles reference because you know him. Picture window, telling a story by a TV, almost 6 feet tall. Picture window, you're in your glory. Periwinkle neon flashes the sky. Dolls that speak Latin and creams when you're old. You sell those dolls that speak Latin and creams that make you young when you're old. Picture window, you lie to me. Picture window, no money down, everything is free. In the window, you lie to me. No money down, everything is free. Where Nick? In the window of the picture window. Sending love letters from my hotel room, trying not to go insane. Mixing gin under, sipping whiskey with the sisters, trying to forget your name. And she's lying in the corner cause her girlfriend's told her tequila makes it all okay. Two guys in the corner playing Little Jack Corner, checking on which plum to take. Smash at 8 in the morning, should be early morning. The rock and roll's a vicious game. Kid Rock bringing the honeys, agent stocking money. It's got nothing to do with fame. Sad just to church on time, cause I got no religion of another kind. And I played in my bedroom so many years ago. It's got a rustle and groove called rhythm and blues. If you played it loud, you couldn't help but move. Better than $1 million picture show. She's like a long, tall Sally with a blue dress on. Little Susie Q, what's going on? Summertime blues, and what I say. When he struck you with a kiss, and it goes like this. Save the last dance and one last kiss. She loves you and it's alright in the surfing USA. So put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray.
Put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Little Jimmy Hendrix. You got a myth that's a whole lot of soul. It's a hot and last old time rock and roll. Hot legs make you completely numb. Loser and creek softly killing me. Each jam is bittersweet symphony. Angels of Harlem, let's sing it out loud. So put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Let's see if you can sing it. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Put your hands up, whoa, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up and pray. Oh, hands up, I need someone to hold me through the night. Someone who'll stay with me until the morning light. Someone who'll dream with me all through the night. Someone who'll love me until the morning light. Good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. Good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. I said good night, girl. Come on and be my girl. Let's say good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. Good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. Good night, girl. Be my good night, girl. Why we're all famous for falling.
I love you guys too. I have to tell you a quick story. When I saw the snow today, I don't know if anybody knows, but Nik used to do superintendent work around this building. And one year, when I first met him, it was snowing and I decided to help him shovel. And then I started to notice that every time there was a snowstorm, he'd call me. He goes, there'd be a warning and he'd go, what are you doing today? But, you know, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun shoveling snow with him, and it reminded me today when the snow started coming down with him. I'm going to do 2 songs. The first one, these are 2 of, Nik used to play guitar for me. He was my driver, he was everything, you know, he was a great friend. This song off my first album, which is called Law of Attraction, was one of Nik's favorite songs off this album. And then I'm going to do a second song that he discovered was tuned down. This is tuned down into A. Right? Yeah. But C sharp. Oh, I'm totally off. See, Nik never played anything right. Anyways, the second song, he discovered that it was in the same key apparently, or maybe not. So the first one we're going to do is called Law of Attraction. Come on up, Dad. I thought you were behind me.
Thicker skin than the one you're living in. Wishful thinking for a fairy tale that touches nerves and you do real. Here I go, I'm crashing down. Here I go, and something's got to give. Midnight's got to feeling within. You found a secret to a new beginning. Light magnets are attracting you. All that's good's gonna come back to you. Here I go, I'm crashing down again. Here I go, something's got to give. What you wanna be and not what you are. Honey, you made it this far. Nothing's gonna stop you, no gravity. Hold on tight, let the door release. Here I go, I'm laughing once again. Here I go, and something's got to give. Love attraction. Love attraction.
Just want to let you all know that the Amsterdam CD release party, I'm going to be actually one of the singers on that show. And I'm totally honored to be doing American, which is an awesome tune. And if anybody who hasn't had a chance to check it out, I just released my new single called Rock's Not Dead. And if you log on to, even if you go to Google and search, Rock's Not Dead, L Rock, it comes right up at the top. Yay, that's a good sign. And you'll see the video, which Nik was in, and that was recorded just 2 weeks before he died. And he had a lot of fun. We had a great time that day. Kim was there, a bunch of people, and he was happy.
He actually smiles.
He smiled a lot in the video that we've never seen before. So we're going to do this one last song. This was one of Nik's favorite songs that him and I used to do together. I hope I can get through it. If I stop, please, I apologize. But it's called Calling God.
tree, and every drop of water in the sea, every grain of weather sand that smashes itself onto dry land.